All right, everybody. So he listens to George Strait, but he's more like George Gay.
Okay.
He says that
Wait a
Darius
minute.
Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish is his father, but that's not the only man he calls daddy.
Okay. Okay.
Our guest today, highly controversial. He
Oh
had a
my
number
gosh.
one country hit a few years ago, Little Nas X. Little
Oh
Nas
yeah.
X.
Yep. I just
Little Nas X. They tell me that everything's bigger in Texas. Can you confirm that? Game man.
I cannot confirm. I have no comment on that, but just getting into it, it was good to make a big bang.
Oh, don't say that. That's more sus. You can't say that and not be sus.
Oh my gosh. Oh
It
my
was a
gosh.
long, hard process.
Okay.
We sure made a
A lot of
splash.
people involved in
A lot of people involved. Yeah.
That's crazy. That is terrible.
Nah,
Anyways.
I guess today's James Beam,
Yeah.
local artist, country music guy. Um,
Oh my gosh. That's nasty.
yeah, let me post some.
Long waited.
Yeah, no, freaking this guy. Like, I've been trying to get him on an interview for like months now, and like he's always like, "Oh, I got a gig or something." Or he's got work, or he falls asleep.
Okay, I did do
Like
that one
he did,
time.
he fell asleep,
Dude,
bro.
I went downstairs to charge my phone
And
and
then he
then I
fell
woke up.
asleep.
I woke up.
That's
I
the
don't
worst
even
kind of
remember
guest, the
that.
guest that you can't book at all. But no,
Well,
he's finally here. I mean, I'm grateful, I guess. But it's about time. Like he'll have like an hour long, getting ready. He's like, "Oh, I got a gig in 4 hours." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he's got to write a set list, and then he's got to get ready, and he's got to be there an hour early. So it's like, "Oh yeah, my whole day is basically booked out."
yeah,
Like,
pretty much. It takes a second, especially if you didn't plan it ahead. And like especially with it being like beginning of the year where I'm trying to like make a new set list and stuff like that. It's like and that day it was kind of like last minute. I completely forgot about that gig, so I was trying to get a set list done as soon as possible. So I was really like critiquing that set list specifically. So it just took a little
in
bit
my
longer.
mind, it's like, why don't you just recycle a set list
Well, because
and
you,
like swap a few songs out?
especially like with me and being that I haven't played like out of town really that much, is that like I get a lot of the same people coming to my shows, like people who support me, and so I want to give them something that's a little bit different every time. Not every time, but especially at the
For
beginning of the
sure.
year, a
Yeah, that
different
makes
set
sense.
list
That makes
from
sense.
last year. I want to give them something that's a little bit
Because
different.
the same people come
Yeah,
in,
I don't want to
we play the same
reuse.
song.
Yeah, and I reuse some of the songs, but
Just throw them in a different order.
yeah.
Same songs, different. Yeah, but
Well,
that makes a lot more
it just
sense.
depends.
That makes
Like
so when you say it's a new set list, you're compiling new songs that you
yeah,
haven't
I'm
played yet.
throwing new songs in there. I'm kind of rearranging and figuring out like how I want that gig to go and what the feeling like ups and downs, fast
Right,
songs, slow
for
songs, and then
sure.
I'm also kind of like learning or refreshing on some songs that I haven't played in a while. And so that's pretty much what kind of takes so long. Is
That
just
makes
figuring
sense
out.
because I'm like, it takes 2 hours to
I
make a
mean, like,
set
yeah,
list.
I could just like throw some
But he
songs
cares
down,
about y'all. He's trying to put
but
some
yeah, I want to, I
some
do want,
effort into it.
I want to do my best.
Yeah.
It takes a second. Especially, like being back from all these deals overseas and
Sure.
building
Yeah.
up bars across the state.
Yeah.
So like
Sure.
I'm just so busy with all this
Yeah.
stuff and like handling all my
That's what I'm
money to
saying, bro.
like
Like this
it's just
guy, he's like my brother, and I can't get a hold of him. So like when he's just gonna, next time I'm gonna call his phone, it's just gonna be his assistant. I'm never, literally, if he when he gets famous, this guy's never gonna talk to any of us ever again,
no.
bro.
Hopefully
He's
as
literally
I
gonna be
go,
like that.
I'm trying
You
to get better.
changed. You changed.
Who are you? No, I'm trying to get better with the like time management and stuff, but like especially like I did just come back from Tennessee just for a little bit, but that screwed up my whole clock and just everything. Like I can't get up on time. I can't do nothing right now. But um, so like that's I'm trying to like get back on track, get back into the gym because I'm slacking, starting to look like the Michelin
No,
man a little
no
bit. But
escape, no skip days. Back in the gym.
I'm trying, but
I just want you to know that like gay jokes are like half of my material I have for today. So no, a wise man once said, "Mamas don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys." So why do you think your mom hates you, or what other ways that your mom has failed you?
um, I feel uncomfortable talking about this subject.
Oh no, we'll just move on. Speaking about failing parents, though,
Oh my
your father
gosh.
Darius Rucker. What
Oh
was that? A
yeah,
few weeks ago, apparently was arrested for what
yeah. He was.
possession of like psychedelics and marijuana.
Yeah, some sort of drugs. I don't know, man. I tried to get a hold of him. It didn't work. He doesn't really talk to me. You know, he just kind of as soon as he got
Well, I mean, at
famous.
least he's in your life,
Yeah, I mean, I guess a
being a
little
black
bit.
father and
Yeah,
everything. You know, being a musician, uh,
I mean, I think I get a lot of it from him, honestly, and
the drugs or what?
oh,
Or the singing.
no, we don't talk about those. Every artist, you know, every artist has that time when they get into it, you
Right.
know, and I mean,
Even Elvis, right?
you know, I mean, I'm a pretty good guy, but you know, sometimes I just kind of need that pick me up. You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah, evidently it was because he had a blown out tail light, which is like the oldest thing in the book. Like, if you're gonna have like drugs on you, and I
Wait,
and
I
I think it
thought
was in Tennessee, right? Or no, yeah,
no, he was in
Tennessee.
Tennessee, but I thought
Is it? And so weed is illegal in Tennessee?
Hmm?
Is it weed illegal in Tennessee? It must be marijuana.
Man, I don't know. I
I don't
mean,
think.
I would
Yeah, I don't
assume
think it's. I
so.
don't think it's a legal state, which is crazy because it's got a whole bunch of musicians. You know they're all
Dude,
smoking.
all of them
You
are doing
know
it.
you're all
All
smoking.
of them are doing it.
Yeah,
I
but it's not a
swear.
legal state. Sometimes I take that for
No,
granted.
but down there was this one guy, and it was me and Max, who's living down there. But we were walking like down. Crap, I don't remember the street, but it was like the main street in Nashville. But we were like walking down, and there's this guy on the street, and he sounds almost exactly like what's the dude's name? Louis Armstrong, like acid street.
Yeah,
That guy,
yeah,
he sounded
Grover. Or
like
what?
it sounded good, but like I was just like I like turned, I was like, who is that? Because I was
Yeah,
like, I thought that guy was dead. Like I swear,
yeah.
but he was good. It was good. I was kind of
Tell us a little more about Nashville. So you went like what
well, it
three
was.
we like a month ago, honestly.
Oh yeah, it was a while ago. I think it was end of
And why? Why'd you
January.
go?
Because I just kind of so I was thinking about moving down there for a while, and so I just kind of wanted to kind of see what it felt like down there and what the vibe was, like see if I actually liked the people I would possibly be staying with, and kind of
Right,
just
right.
like feel it out and kind of like do a little bit of scoping, like what places are around, like where could I work if I was gonna live down here. I didn't do any of that down there, but that was the plan for going down there. But I mean, like it was my first time out of state
Yeah,
alone, first time on a plane alone,
yeah,
and first time in Nashville alone, kind of. But I was just like, it was like a definitely like a really big like step, you
yeah.
know,
No, I
like it
get
was
it. Yeah,
definitely like I got back and I was like, I guess I'm a real man now. Like I done
because
it
like
all.
the world just grew.
I know, and
Yeah,
it was actually like pretty crazy, and like I think it helped a lot with my like confidence, not just on stage, but just like
as
in
a
general.
person,
Yeah, just
right,
walking around because
right.
you know,
Be
like
your own person. Yeah.
beforehand, I was just like, I never been out of the state alone. I'm just kind of like, I'm just like kind of doing my thing, and then like I just kind of up and left like the state, and it's like
Right.
everything I knew by myself, and it was really good. But
And when I think of Nashville, like in my mind, it's like the South, and I don't know how it looks. Like I'm thinking Tennessee, I'm thinking Nashville, but it's a bigger city. No, it's kind of modern. No,
um,
it's
it is pretty modern. Like you would think. Like I was kind of thinking, I was
it's
like
not like
everybody.
saloons and everything. You know,
No,
it's
no, it's
like
not like the wild wild. That would be more the west though.
yeah,
That's like the wild wild west. This was more like south. And honestly, there wasn't like I was imagining like all these cowboy hats and everybody, but
right.
like it really was just kind of like
Any big city.
yeah, and it wasn't really a
Did it feel like the
big.
Pacific Northwest though? Not quite.
Not quite. Like there was definitely a difference in the air, and like you look out and there's like no hills really. Like it's just like,
Ah,
but like
it's
feel
flatlands.
wise, it didn't feel like super different.
Yeah,
I think the main thing was just that I was like away from home. And
right.
like I knew that I could,
Far,
like I can't
far
just
away.
like go home, when I want
Yeah,
to.
not even drive. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't really like a big city. Like the main part, like the strip, the Nashville strip, where all the artists have like all their bars and stuff like that. Like there wasn't really a lot of big buildings around. It kind of felt like wait, hold on, I gotta think back. There was a couple big buildings, yeah. So it kind of
Yeah,
felt
a big city
like just when you like are kind of just entering kind of Seattle area,
for sure.
like
For
it
sure.
kind of more like
Outskirts of Seattle, Dillingham,
yeah,
Shoreline,
like there was built big buildings, but it didn't feel like a
a big
city.
city for
Yeah, it
sure.
just was like a place
But
like
did it feel like a tourist town? Like there's a lot of tourists
oh
there?
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like especially when you get like into like the Nashville part where
What was
like
the first thing you did?
the first thing I did. The first thing I did, I think.
Smoke some weed. No.
No, but
Yeah.
the first thing we did, he's like, he picked me up. He's like, well, what do you want to do? Like, we could go to the guitar shop, and he's like we could do all these things.
Yeah.
And we were kind of looking around, and we're like, okay, well, everything's closed pretty much, and all the
Yeah.
things that aren't closed, we're not 21, so we can't really do, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what do we do? And I was like, well, he's like, have you eaten? I was like, I mean,
Food, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I ate, but like,
But I could eat again.
I could eat again, you know. I want to try this Nashville food, but the first thing I got was a chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich. I was like,
Where
I
was it
have to
again?
try. We went to I think the first night we went to Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta try their toast, and they're like, even though they just have chicken, like it's good. Like it doesn't feel like you're missing out on anything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna get the toast, but he was like, I'm telling you right now,
The toast?
yeah, they're toast. And,
Like bread, toasted, buttered toast.
yeah, and I was like, I don't like. I'm not a like. What do you mean? I'm not like a fan of toast necessarily.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Nobody is.
I
Yeah.
was just like, it's just toast. But he's like, but you have to get Raising Cane's
Raising
toast.
Cane's toast.
And then I got it, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. But yeah, that was good. I was like, okay,
the chicken. You said you went to multiple chicken spots or what?
No, I went to. So when I first landed off the plane, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna get some food while I wait for you because he was gonna come pick me up. And so I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go get some food while I wait for you. And the first thing I got was Chick-fil-A because it was just like it was there. And I was like, okay, I know I like that. And so I went and I got Chick-fil-A first, and then he came and picked me up. We went to Raising Cane's. And the next day we went to oh man, what was it?
Yard House.
No, it was another chicken spot, but I don't remember what it was called actually. But like we were gonna get their breakfast sandwich. Like I wasn't on a chicken rampage.
Right, chicken.
I was like, okay, well, let's get their breakfast. But apparently, I'm like a little dyslexic or something because I read their menu completely backwards. It was like these hours to this, and I read it like backwards. So we got there, and they're like, we're not even serving breakfast. We stopped serving breakfast like an hour ago. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I'll just get. And they had this like chicken barbecue melt. It was so good.
What was the best out of all the 3 restaurants, or out of all the restaurants you went to?
Man, I think. I mean, I had Wingstop.
Wingstop.
I had Wingstop, and it was because I wasn't planning on getting Wingstop, but I was ordering some Popeyes, and I was like really excited for it. It was like end of the day, we were just relaxing. He finally got me to play Fortnite, which I told myself I would never.
Fortnite.
I literally swore to myself, I was like, I'm never ever gonna play Fortnite because I was just so sick of seeing it everywhere and
it's just
all
like,
the
what
time.
is it? Yeah.
But he was, I was like, okay, whatever. I'll play a little
downtime.
bit, yeah. And so we played Fortnite, but I ordered Popeyes, and I was like super excited. It's like it came. And you gotta understand. So the house I was staying at, like my house has a blue door. You know, like my house has a blue door.
Right.
And the place I was staying at had a blue door too. And so like they're like, here's your food. We just dropped it off. They sent me a picture. I was like,
It's a
okay,
blue
good.
door, yeah.
I was like, okay, good. And I go get it, and there's nothing there. I was like, okay, who's pulling my leg? Like, what's going on? And then I look at that picture that they sent me again. I'm like, oh my gosh, they sent it all the way back to Washington.
It's literally
like I ordered from the Washington Popeyes because I was using DoorDash. And I forgot to like switch the address or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was so upset. I was like, it's all the way back in Washington. Like my mouth was like at the point. My mouth was like ready to start watering when I saw that it was at the front door.
Like, there's nothing there. I
was so ready, and then it was just like
Washington.
Poof. I was like, I was devastated. Like that was probably the lowest point in Nashville. And so I called Mom. I'm like, Mom,
they took my chicken.
I'm like, Mom, I don't have chicken today. Like, I wanted it. And she's like, okay. And then all the kids were like, oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was so good. It was good.
Gosh, bro.
By the way, your wings were delicious.
I was so happy. And
the Lord provides.
Sad. But like, no, I had Wingstop because you know that video was she's like, I worked 10
I just
want
Wingstop. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, I got to try Wingstop.
With that kind of promotion.
I know she should have just been their commercial, but
Yeah.
I think that was honestly probably my favorite,
Wings.
really close to the Raising Cane's still.
Damn.
'Cause, like,
Wingstop.
yeah, Wingstop. But so like Raising Cane's was good, but like their sauce that they have, it's not for the fries.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Raising Cane's, their sauce is not for the fries. So don't like dip your fries in it and be like, oh, this sauce is trash.
Mm.
Because it's good, but it's I
Mm.
feel like they specifically formulated it
Mm.
for their chicken.
Mm.
Because with the fries, it's with the
Yeah.
chicken, it's like, okay.
For sure.
Now it makes sense.
For
So
sure.
yeah.
It's not fried sauce.
Yeah. It's definitely for their chicken. But
So you went to the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh yeah.
And you're telling me, so I was, I'm always like when I hear someone's indicted into the Grand Ole Opry, I'm thinking it's like this, like a rock and roll Hall of Fame type of thing, but it's actually
Yeah.
like a venue. You said
So
it's
the
actually like
venue. So it's
it's not a
actually.
group. It's like a well, it is.
I
Like,
think
explain it.
if I remember like the video I watched originally, but I think it was like the Grand Ole Opry was like a radio show that they did, and then they brought it to the Ryman, which is like the building. Like the Ryman
Ryman Theater
is a stadium, and that was like
it's a big one, huh?
yeah. And well, it's not as big as you would think. Like it's big, obviously, but it's not like a stadium, you know?
Right.
It's just like it's like almost like an opera house type of thing. I don't know, but like that was pretty surreal. Like we walked in because he was like, "Do you want to go see the Ryman?" I was like, I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't know that it was the same as like, I didn't know it was a Grand Ole Opry area.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, like why not? We had nothing else to do, and so we get our tickets. I was using Apple Pay like the whole time because like a week before I left, I lost my wallet. And
For
it's
sure.
still missing. I don't know where it is. Somebody's probably going around pretending to be me or
you
something.
You gotta cancel the cards.
But I need my card. I need it for Apple Pay.
I'll just swap it over. You gotta.
I gotta get a new one.
Yeah,
I'll just get a new one here soon. But yeah. But like a week before I left, I lost my wallet.
Before you cancel, yeah.
So I was using Apple Pay the whole time. So I just like Venmoed or whatever. I gave Max money, and so we got the tickets and we walk in, and the lady's like, "Hey, how you doing? Like, welcome to Ryman. Are you guys doing like
everyone got Southern accents there? No, not really.
No, I mean, I didn't really notice it necessarily. There was a couple people where you notice it, but like she was just like, "Are you doing a guided tour or are you doing like just a single?" And Max was like, "We'll just do it ourselves because we're men."
Because we're men.
He's like, I know what I'm doing because he's been there before.
Yeah.
And so like we walked in. And then I realized I was like, "Oh, this is the Grand Ole Opry. Like I wanted to do like this was on my list to do."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Okay." And we were just walking around. And they have like in the very back of the room, they have like these cases with all the artists like either like their guitars or like what they wore their first time there.
Yeah. So
like
it is kind of a museum type of thing.
It's kind of like a museum, but it's still in use. Like they still use it for the Grand Ole Opry.
Right.
But so we're just kind of like looking at that. They had like Luke Combs, obviously.
Right, he's like one of the newest members. Has there been a new one since him?
I know John Party is inducted in it now, but I don't know if he's the newest. But he's part of it. He's the newest one I remember
for sure.
But they had like Luke Combs's like shirt, obviously that he wears, and then they had like Marty. What is it? Marty Robbins. It's not Marty Robbins, Marty Stewart.
Yeah.
They had Marty Stewart's. But then like I was kind of surprised because I was thinking like Grand Ole Opry, it's like only these country artists. But like they literally had everyone there. Like everyone was at the Ryman.
Rock artists.
Yeah, like they had like
Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, like Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top. They had like they had some of the like older people that I kind of look up to, like the bluesies sort of soulful people, like Aretha Franklin. They had Ray Charles.
Ray Charles for sure.
I was like when I saw Ray Charles, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy! Like these people were actually like standing in this room. They were singing for people like here, like this is like a hit, like this is history, like right here. And like Max is just kind of like looking around, and then he took me to like this specific seat, and he's like, "I want you to sit right here." I was like, "Oh." It's like a father son now. But he's like, "I want you to sit right here." And so I sat down. I'm like, "Okay, like what am I saying?" He's like, "That's exactly where Johnny Cash sat." Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, that puts it all. That's a whole nother thing. Huh?
Yeah, I was just like sitting there, just like looking at the city he was in,
like,
this is like surreal, you know. and that was only like the first part of it. And so we're walking around, and then we go back out and we go upstairs where they have this like it's like this like theater type of thing. It's like no pictures, like you can't record none of this, like all. And so I was like, okay, whatever.
Does that only apply when there's like
It's
a
only
show going on, or like you actually
no,
can't?
no, it was upstairs. So they have like it's like this theater area, and they like show you like this thing talking about the Ryman and all this stuff that happened there. And so like they're like you can't record
Right.
like the video
Presentation.
or anything like that. But there was just like one poster behind me that I really, really wanted to take a picture of. I don't remember who it was, but I was like, I really want to take a
If I was
picture
still
of it.
finding it, yeah.
And I was close.
It's
But
just-
then the lady walked in. And I was like, oh man. Okay. And so it was just like a video, and it was just kind of talking about the history of the Ryman and like who the guy who started it. His last name is Ryman, so that's why they call it that. But like it was just like so it was two guys. Bear with me, 'cause but it was these two guys, and they both like ended up in Tennessee, like
Yeah.
way, way back when. But they both like landed in Tennessee at the same time, and then like one guy was like this preacher guy, like evangelical or whatever, and
Yeah.
he's just like
Uh,
he like the preacher guy, like just is like screaming and stuff like
right.
that. And then
Right.
there is the other guy, and he's just like the good old time,
Businessman.
like he's
Yeah.
got the bar, and everybody's going to his parties and stuff like that. And so like he has this building where everybody kind of just goes and they do their drinking and stuff. And the preacher guy, he's like, "You guys shouldn't
Heathens,
do this."
debauchery.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, like stuff like that. And so Ryman, the guy, he like goes and he goes to talk to the preacher guy, and he's like, he's gonna go like shoot him down, be like, You're killing my business, dude.
Right.
Like you gotta."
You're kind of harsh in my mellow, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, you're messing with the vibe, dude. No, but like he went to go talk to the guy, and then he came back, and he's like, okay, well, I'm a changed man now. Like he the preacher guy got to him, which is
Yeah.
good, you know.
Yeah.
And so like he decided to like change his ways, and he made it more of like a worship house, like a praise house, like
Mm,
I don't even know the word
place of
for it, but
worship, but not
like
necessarily
yeah, but it
like.
was like just specifically singing, but like worship singing, you know, like
Yeah.
praising, and it was actually like really cool. I was like, oh, that's cool to hear,
He
you
should just
know. But
convert the person he converted his place. Yeah.
yeah, and so like they had that going on all the time, and then if I remember right, but that guy died, and so another lady she took it over and she made it just like brought like all these different like good singers from all around, and they just all sang there, took turns and stuff like that. And it's like this really cool thing. And then they shut it down or something happened to where it died out, and like everybody left, and so the Ryman was just like sitting there rotten, you know. And it's like, and they're like, who's gonna build it up? Like who's gonna bring it back? Like somebody's got to bring it back. And then all the artists that they had at the Ryman before, they started like giving money to like build it
Yeah.
back. So they finally built up back the Ryman, and that's when like they kind of started bringing in, like the Grand Ole Opry and like all the new acts again, like all the
Yeah.
greatest people from around the world and all
Yeah.
these bands again. So like there's like a whole like big history behind it. It's not
So it's
just
not
Grand
just
Ole
a
Opry.
venue; it's a
Yeah,
community.
yeah. It's
It's
like
a.
like everybody knows what it is.
Do you think that the Ryman or the Grand Ole Opry is the reason that Nashville is like the music capital? Or it is. That's what they call it, right? The music capital of America.
Yeah, and I would think I'd say so, yeah. Like, cause I didn't really like from what I heard and what I learned, like there wasn't like a lot of outside of that, like outside of like the Ryman and having all
Right.
those people come down, like it wasn't necessarily like it was a musical city, obviously, because
Right.
you had
People
like
would come by there.
yeah, they
It's
had like
Nashville,
worship stuff
Tennessee.
over here, and like these guys were drinking and singing, but like,
I'm sure a lot of artists have come from there since then, and
hmm
that's what kind of gave it
yeah,
its reputation.
and like everybody goes to Nashville, like if
Yeah.
they want to be noticed, like everybody goes to Nashville, or like yeah, pretty much Nashville is it for at least for like the country
Country
side of
music,
things
maybe
or like the
blues,
blues and
even
stuff like
rock.
that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like Nashville is where everybody goes. Like that's where
Nashville,
I'm going, you
Tennessee.
know, like but and like even being down there, like after leaving the Ryman and stuff like that, and then kind of like walking around from bar to bar, we could only go into like two, I believe.
Right,
But
right.
like kind of like going from bar to bar and just kind of like seeing all these artists like doing their thing, trying to make it. It was like this is like before like I even started being like trying to make my way into the music scene. Like I always kind of wanted to sing and stuff like that, but I never really like thought I would be doing it.
Right, you would be in Nashville
Yeah, like
sitting
I
in the
was
seat
like
that
that would
Johnny
be
Cash sat
yeah,
in.
like I
Yeah,
was downstairs in the basement just kind of like singing my own concert and doing all that. But I was like, oh, that would be cool, but like I'm gonna be a car guy, you know. Like
right,
that's what I'm gonna do because that's more practical. That's you know,
right.
like that you're like
Uh,
that's what
conceivable.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
conceivable.
That's more like that's more tangible. And then all of a sudden I'm like playing all these shows and stuff and it's like super surreal. And there was one time though that I teared up on stage because I was just like it
I'm
hit me.
doing it.
It hit me and I was just like like I'm actually like here. I'm actually like doing what I always dreamed of doing. You
Yeah,
know, and that sounds so
it's
cliche. I
happening.
hate saying that, but like I'm like it hit me because like we were just singing. I was singing this song, and then people like pull out their flashlights and they're like waving
It
back and
goes
forth,
from
and I was
a
just like,
thought to a
yeah. I was just
reality.
like one time, like first I'm just like I'm singing at the bar and I'm just kind of like having a good time, and then like the flashlights come out and I'm oh, like oh crap, like this is like an actual thing, like I'm actually living my dream right now, you know.
Yeah.
And so
So
I,
you think you're gonna go to Nashville?
I
Is
want
it is
to.
it a vibe? Is it the move?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna go down there. I don't know about living down there for long term. I might like go down there for a month or two, like sing as many bars as I can and come back. But like, um, I'm waiting till I'm about like at least 21, you know,
Yeah.
because it's all bars down
It's
there.
all bars,
And
and
so
that's
like
and that's where you get a play, where you get gigs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely want to go down there to like learn, you know, because there's a lot to be learned down there. There's so many artists and so many just like people who know about like how it goes down there, and I know some people that I've met like through shows and stuff that live down there. So like I definitely want to be down there and like soak up the whole atmosphere and like like work
yeah.
on your
Does it
craft
feel
and
more
stuff.
country than over here? We're because again we're in the West,
Yeah,
which is pretty damn
honestly,
country, but at the same time we're not in the South kind of country.
well, like so like Sela, I feel like Sela feels more like a country town. You know,
Western,
like
yeah,
everybody's
definitely.
got big trucks
It is,
and
yeah,
all that.
compared to Yakima.
I did notice though it's painful, but like everyone down there drives a Ford. Like everyone down there has a Ford truck.
Tell them how you feel about Fords.
I'm a Chevy guy. Like that's just like I wasn't even raised on
That's
Chevy. Like my
right.
dad's a Ford
I
guy.
feel like Ford is definitely an older
And
person car. Like the younger kids, they ain't
dad's a Ford
drive.
guy. Grandpa's a Ford guy.
Yeah,
Papa's kind of a Ford guy. But like I'm just a Chevy dude. I
all
don't even
younger.
know why or like where. I just like them better.
What are the jokes they have about
Oh
Fords?
my gosh.
They're
Dude,
hella.
they even made that. Well, see, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't even like. I'm not even like I hate Ford like but I'm
Right.
like I like trucks. I'm just like I'm a truck guy. But like Chevy, I just feel like it's just like the better option for
You
me.
know what?
You
Like the
know?
newer Fords definitely have a soft look.
Well, no, because here's the thing. Then when it comes to like the newer stuff, I think I Dude, I'm gonna get murdered. No, but I feel like when it comes to like the newer designs, like Chevy kind of fell off with their design
uh,
because I just think their bumpers are way too big. They just kind of
uh.
went with like what everybody else is doing, you
What are you
know.
imagining when you say that? Like what car?
I'm
In
like
my mind,
they're
I see like a Silverado thing that's
yeah,
much
like
more
they're
angular and better than like a Raptor, or not,
oh
or at
no
least
no no.
it
I don't
looks
even
better.
like think about the Raptors or anything like that. But I'm talking like the Silverados, the F250s, F350s, and like the Dodge. You know,
Yeah.
like those main ones. Out of those ones, I feel like the Ford, like the 2020 F250, clean looking truck. Like it's
Mm.
a good looking truck as compared to like the 2020 Chevy Silverado.
mm.
Oof.
Uh,
Like
uh.
I think they messed up. I just think the
Well,
body
then
style
why you prefer Chevys?
from the
Yeah.
older,
At
like
the
the
end of the
square
day,
body and stuff
you
like
just
that.
feel
Yeah,
like Ford might be like the legacy brand, as in like Ford was there first, but like Chevy feels like a truck.
yeah, yeah. And from personal, just like from my experience, like my cars that like all of the cars that I had a Chevy Cruze, which was trash, but it was still like a good car. And then I had like the Jeep, obviously, but and then I have my Chevy truck now. But like just from like what I hear from people around, I went to automotive school for a little bit, like the YB Tech.
Yeah.
But like just from what I hear, like Ford seems to have a little bit more problems,
Mm,
and like Chevy just seems like they're easier to work on. Ford's
yeah.
got some of their cars got like
So maybe
super
if you
nice.
grew up in
Yeah,
a
like
different
I don't
era,
think
you
there's
might have
anything like they're all good trucks. Like they're all good trucks,
just leaned towards
but
Chevy
just
more.
my personal preference is just Chevy.
Chevy,
I think
yeah.
they just look better.
But out there in Nashville, everyone's driving Fords.
Everybody has a Ford. Like every car, every truck that would pass us was a Ford
Yeah.
or a Ford pulling a Ford, like stuff
Uh,
like that. And I was just like, oh man, where are the
where are
Chevys?
the Chevys?
Like my
Yeah.
buddy had a Chevy, and he was like, I know, like there's no Chevys here, but yeah, man, it's
But it's a different kind of country out there. You feel like,
yeah, it's still country. It's just like it's Nashville, so
yeah.
it's kind of
And
more
people
like.
say like talk about Southern hospitality and all that. Like, did you get a good sense of the people? You like the people down there? Or they
Yeah, I
what's the
think
vibe of
the
the
people down
people?
there were super nice.
Yeah.
Like I even just like I went into the gas station, and the lady was like super sweet and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's. I was kind of waiting, like I heard about it, but like
The
the
Southern
lady,
hospitality.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not like everybody wasn't like, oh my gosh, sweetheart, and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but because I don't think I was deep enough stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like Nashville. Everybody's like it's like tourist town.
They just want an extra step.
Yeah, yeah, but there was definitely that like feeling of like you're like welcome there, especially in the place that I was staying. Like the people I was staying with, like Cooper and his girlfriend, and then Max.
They're raised in the South.
No,
Oh, they're not
but they've
from.
been there for a while,
Ah,
and
for
like you
sure.
can feel like they're super just nice people, and like I could stay like in that place. It just felt kind of like home a little bit, but I definitely want to travel some more and kind of like go more south or go like Texas area because I feel like I'm still kind of thirsting for that hospitality and,
Uh,
and that.
uh,
But yeah, no, it was a great time, and I even just like the small time that I was there, like I learned a good amount.
about.
Just music wise, like I'm more like my friend was showing me Max, the guy I was staying with, but he was showing me this alternate tuning, and I was
Mm,
just kind of in. I'll walk in that
right.
house.
When like
No,
everyone there is a musician, you just can't
yeah,
help but
no,
soak up.
but so I walk into the house, the place I was staying, and I walk in, and the first thing I see is just freaking guitars
Uh,
everywhere.
uh,
Like
uh,
I go into the kitchen, there's three guitars leaning up
uh.
against the wall. There's one on the floor. I go into the dining room. There's another guitar on the floor and like an amp. And then I go back into the room that I'm staying in. There's four guitars just kind of like hanging around. Living room, there's like three guitar cases, two guitars just laying like up against the house. I was just like, I think altogether, I think you said there's 22 guitars
Just in that house.
just in
There's
the
more
house.
guitars than people in the
I was just
house.
like, oh my gosh,
There's
this is
more
like
guitars than toothbrushes in the house.
yeah, I was like, this is perfect. Like, I love this. And they had
Uh,
this baritone guitar. I think it was Cooper's. So I hope I didn't damage it. But they had this baritone guitar, and I never played a baritone guitar, but it sounded so
is
good.
it the side of the body makes it deeper or something, or what's the?
I think it's the strings. It's got thicker, like a lot thicker strings on
And
it,
that just makes it sound warmer. Or?
and it's tuned down a little bit too.
Okay,
And so,
okay.
like, it's got this nice deep baritone sound,
Mm.
which works well with my voice. And then
Mm.
what also I learned is like
You
it
thinking about getting one?
oh yeah, I'm definitely getting one. I don't know when, but I'm getting one because
Yeah.
it'll help with shows. Because here's the thing: is like it helps me because there's a lot of songs that I want to sing that are played like super high, and even
Yeah.
like with no capo on my guitar, it's still too high.
Mm,
But if
mm,
I were to do it, like I played a couple songs with the baritone guitar that were originally like too high, I just like put a capo on it, and like I'm able to sing those songs. And
you can
so
just
like
yeah.
what?
Couldn't you just tune your other guitar down?
But that's work.
It didn't sound as work.
It's so much work because I only got one guitar.
Right, it's
And so
tuning
like
up, tuning down.
on a show, I'm
Yeah,
already tuning it to drop D and then
right,
back into like
right,
standard and then back drop D,
right.
and that does a lot for the strings. That's
Yeah,
really good for the strings. But no, but like having like that extra guitar because I got this DADGAD tuning that I'm learning.
yeah,
There's the drop C I think the baritone is in,
yeah,
and so like there is that tuning and then my standard tuning and then my drop D tuning.
yeah.
And my guitar is not going to do all of those in one
Right,
show,
yeah. And you don't want to be too. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
yeah, and
that
so
makes
like I
sense.
don't need four guitars, but like just like having two, so I can just grab the other guitar that's in alternate
That's
tuning. Yeah,
common. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
quite
And so
common.
like I definitely gonna eventually get more guitars. But I think that baritone one was my favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
It sounded so
It sounds good. I mean, just from the sound of it, it sounds like a deep guitar for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, a deep
But
soul.
on the subject of guitars, I swear it's the last thing. But the
Grun,
other thing we did in Nashville is we went to this place that was called Grund Guitars. Grund Guitars. I think it's either Grund or Grund.
for sure.
I don't remember which one. It's one of those. So I just kind of slurred the last part. But Grund Guitars. It was so cool because they had all of these guitars. Like I was like a good, like a standard guitar shop.
Yeah.
But then they had like these old guitars in these cases that you couldn't touch, but like super old guitars, and they
Yeah.
sold antiques too. But like they had like a 1940s, I think, guitar.
And what's the appeal of that other than the sound? Is it just because they put a little more craftsmanship into it, or what is?
It's just cool to have. Like, no,
I don't-
you can't buy those.
right, but
They're
what
just in
makes you
cases.
see an old guitar and be like, oh, that's cool?
The craftsmanship on them.
Yeah,
Some of them are
a little
super
more attention to
cool.
detail than your
Yeah, and they
standard
got these.
guitar.
I'll see if I can find a picture. But um, what I was saying about that is that we went to that guitar shop, and like those were not cheap guitars. I'll tell you that much. Like they were like I think
They're charging musician price.
yeah, I think the cheapest one I saw there was like $600, and my guitar was $300
Mhm.
online. So like that's still like a lot of money.
I mean, yeah, if your whole thing is playing on an instrument, getting a good instrument is a worthy investment. But yeah, I wonder at what time like the money stops being like because of the actual goodness of the guitar and then the other is just more like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, but like
Like
they
what is the best
like
guitar money can buy and why is it, like
yeah, I'm not sure because I'm still like super new
what
to the
makes a
whole like
guitar
guitar
gets
world. Like
yeah.
I don't even know all my scales. Yeah, like I'm still like super new. Like I can play for what I need to do.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't call myself a guitar expert or anything like
Oh
that. Like
yeah.
I'm just me. But like they had so this was the first one he had me play. I think it was just like a Taylor. Like it was
Yeah.
good. It sounded good. I was like, oh, that sounds really good
It looks
compared to
pretty
my guitar.
simple too, but it's probably a
And then
thousand
he was like,
bucks.
okay, so that's like your Toyota Camry of guitars.
Okay.
It's pretty like it's just pretty standard. Like it's
It'll
good.
last long.
And then he showed me
You
this.
show you the Lamborghini of your guitar.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
actually said Lamborghini, but it's called a McPherson.
Okay.
But like it doesn't even look like a lot, obviously, from first glance.
Yeah.
It's just a guitar.
It even got a hole.
Hmm?
It's even got a
Yeah, the hole's kind of
side
up
hole.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
But it's just like a basic guitar. It just kind of looks playing that thing.
Yeah.
It played like butter. Like it played
Why is it the capos? I mean, the
so
frets.
smooth. I don't even know.
He's
I
like, I
don't
don't know
know
that
enough
magic.
guitar stuff
Looks like
like to
butter,
like tell
felt
you,
like
but like
butter.
it played so smooth. It had
Uh,
this beautiful like balanced tone. Like it wasn't like, oh, these highs are a little bit sharp, or
mm-hmm.
like this low
It
end
was too
doesn't come through
deep. It
as
was
much.
just
It
straight out,
such an
straight out.
even tone, and then like playing like on the finger fret
Felt
and the fretboard
nice.
and all that stuff, super smooth. It
I
didn't
would,
hurt. Like there was nothing like it was just so smooth and just ooh,
huh?
like it was such a good guitar. I didn't even know
What it was?
there was like like you play guitars and you're like okay they kind of sound like you can barely hear the difference. I've been like guitar shops around here. I'm just like okay like they all sound like
Like a
how
guitar.
they should sound. Like yeah they
Yeah.
sound like an acoustic guitar. Maybe this one has a little bit better low end. But like going around that shop and just like playing all the different guitars, like there's so many different guitars, but just kind of playing those, like you can hear like the differences in
Yeah.
every one that I played. I was like, ooh, this one sounds like this one's got a really good like tone, especially when it comes to like just like strumming it and like stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's got a really good tone. It's like really even, or this one's got a really nice low tone. Like it's really, really good for that. But like that McPherson, like you could play low stuff, you could play high stuff if you wanted to. Like it just had it was just so good. It was
Yeah.
so good.
How much that cost?
Take a guess.
Like 2,000 something.
No.
Damn, more?
No. Yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
was more than that. Like 2000 is a good guitar. Like I
This
saw
thing was what? 4 grand for
no,
4 bands?
no,
5 bands?
no,
6?
no. It was nine.
What?
9,500. $9,500 something dollars. I wouldn't buy it
Whoa.
for that, but like it
That's
was
the
just
car.
that's my truck,
That's the
my
car, dude.
2006 Chevrolet
Oh my
15K
god,
1500,
dude.
beautiful truck. But that thing was 7 off the marketplace. Granted, but like that thing was 7. My other car, my Cruise was $3,000. That
No.
guitar was like three of buying 3 of my Cruises. I was like, oh my gosh, like it
That's
was,
crazy.
yeah, it was expensive. Like I'm never gonna
McPherson.
get one because I'm
That's not
just,
true, you know.
but like
Luke Combs can walk in there and grab,
hell,
buy
he
one.
could.
Yeah,
But no,
you
but
can
like
get to
they had
that
all these
point.
electric guitars. Like this one was kind of cool. It had like this olive color.
You gotta send me those videos and put them in.
But yeah, I'll send it to you. But like this thing was kind of cool because like it's like a mandolin. Like it's a mandolin.
But in a guitar shape?
It's just bigger. It's like a guitar sized mandolin.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sounded really good too. But I was like, I'd never seen that before. And Max was like, I gotta play this thing. But like these banjos have this like all this intricate
Yeah,
stuff.
honestly.
I think this one's kind of an antique though, because like you can see there's like wear on it,
Yeah, that
But
looks
like
good for sure.
they're such freaking beautiful guitars.
Beautiful for sure.
Like you can kind of look through them if you want to. But like that place I think was my favorite, next to obviously next to the Grand Ole Opry.
McGrud guitars or
Grund, I
Grund?
think. It's got an H in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, these banjos look good for sure.
Yeah. I was like, I gotta learn one of these instruments. But it was
A
just not
looker.
even just like that, but it was just like
Is
I
that a
don't
lot?
know, just
Is
like being there.
that dobro right there he was messing with?
What?
I lost it, but he was like playing for dobro. It looked like this right here.
That's just a slide guitar. That's a steel.
Yeah, lap steel.
Yeah. And I didn't realize how far off the strings are from the fretboard.
Looks
Like
so.
there's like this
Yeah,
much room.
right.
Like
You're
this much.
pressing
Like
down.
I was like, okay, that's probably what gives it that such a good like tone. But there was a resonator there. I never played a resonator, but those things sound sick.
What's the resonator?
Um, it's I think it's a completely metal guitar,
Okay,
and
but it's
it
still
resonates.
yeah, it
But
just kind
like
of echoes a
this
little,
thing
but
right
it's
here,
still kind of like a lap steel sound.
kind of. It's like it's not like an acoustic guitar, because it doesn't have that like warm tone necessarily.
But it has like
But
a
it's loud. No,
shiny.
it's just loud.
Yeah,
It's just like a loud guitar. It just I don't know how
resonate.
else to explain
Yeah,
it, but it just
yeah.
sounded super cool. I was
Let's
like,
throw
oh,
like a sample of a resonator and like give an idea.
it looks like a radio, is what it looks
Uh
like,
huh.
but it's just a loud guitar. But I think that McPherson had to top them all. Like it was
McPherson
just
guitar.
so
Uh,
smooth. It was just like,
uh,
oh my gosh.
uh,
Like the holy grail of guitars that I've ever touched. Like I
uh,
know there's probably like 10, like so many other guitars that are way better.
legacy brands and all that,
But
but
like
like
that thing was just like beating a poor boy from Sela,
he
I
said,
was just
and
like
he said, this is the Lamborghini
he's
of
like,
guitars.
he's like, I'm gonna get this guitar. I was like, you have to get it because I'm not. I'm gonna have to play yours. But I was like, that thing is just
Something else.
it was just good. It
Yeah.
was just good. Like it was smooth, good tone. But I think that was my second favorite thing that I did in Nashville. Obviously, second to like the Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's just yeah,
Just at a guitar shop.
yeah, just a guitar shop and
And
like
you
we
stayed in like the hub of Nashville. You didn't go like out
yeah.
around
So I actually
Nashville.
didn't stay in Nashville. I forgot what town it was. It was like right. It was like next door to Nashville. I think it was like 20 minutes or something, 30-minute drive into Nashville. But like we were staying there was just like a normal neighborhood. It just kind of looked like every other every other neighborhood in Yakima.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit nicer.
Yeah, not quite
But
the
what was funny
Palm
is that
Springs.
I got my friend that I played with and at Outskirts,
Yeah.
so I was doing like this way out Wednesday and I opened for Kara Hess. Really good. Like she's good.
Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily like country, but it's just like she's got really good
What did you
music.
feel folky kind of stuff?
Kinda. I
For
don't even
sure.
know how to explain it, but like it's good. Like
Yeah.
it's good music. I really enjoy her stuff, but um she lives down there and I was like, "Hey, we're like I'm in Nashville. I would have given you a
She
heads
lived in
up."
Nashville?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She
But
came all the way out here?
yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. That like last year there was a lot of artists that just
Way
kind of
out
like
Wednesday.
yeah, yeah, but what was I saying?
Shout out Outskirts.
Yeah, shout out Outskirts, shout out Kara Hess. Like, I love those guys. But um, so I texted her. I was like, "Hey, I'm in Nashville. Like, what do we do down here? It's like
what
we're
do we?
19. There's
Yeah.
only so like what can we do?" And she's like, "Oh, like it's my friend's birthday. We're gonna go. Like, I'm gonna go watch him. Like, you can come." I was like, "Okay, well, just so you know, like, just so you remember, like, we're 19."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, right. Like, let me talk to the guy and stuff." And she was like, "Okay, like I showed him some of your stuff. Like, he like you're good to go." And so I was like, "Okay, well, Max, I got something we can do if you want to." And then she texted back. She's like, "I can't get out of my driveway because it snowed in Nashville."
What?
Yeah, there was 7 inches. Not when I was down there, but like before I got down there, it snowed 7 inches.
So it was snowing over there. There was snow on the street out there.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
there was
ass.
some places like, but it mostly melted.
Yeah. But
But
she couldn't get out of the driveway.
yeah, she couldn't get out of her driveway. But I just thought it was so funny because Max was telling me, he's like, we tried to find a snow shovel.
Yeah.
Nobody here has snow shovels because it never snows here.
Uh-huh.
Like he's like, we don't have any snow shovels. Like I had to use like my card and stuff to like scrape up. Like I was like, that's crazy. Because
Yeah.
like like being from Washington and stuff like that, it's just like common sense. Like everybody
Yeah.
has
You can those
shovels. Everybody like
shovels. Yeah.
you got like these snow tires and all this stuff. And then like you go to Nashville and they're like, I don't know what to do. Like we don't
As
have
soon as snow comes, they're like, ah,
yeah,
yeah.
my dad was like, he's like, you should have just gone and shoveled their driveway. I was like, Dad,
No one
they
has
don't
no.
have shovels. Like, what do you mean they don't have snow stuff? Like,
Yeah.
but so we never got to hang out. But
A
that was,
four-wheel drive car or anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just like, that's like, you never think about that, like, you never like, what happens?
Yeah, I'm sure like people in California they don't own
Probably not.
like
Well, probably own like
a
some sort
snow
of,
shovel or ever have to buy like a snow plow, like a snow blower or
yeah,
anything like that.
yeah. They're like, I don't even know if they had like snow plows necessarily, but like,
Yeah.
like they just don't. It doesn't cross your mind. You
Yeah.
never get snow
Yeah. Why
ever,
would you?
except for maybe like in 4 inches within the year, like or within the winter. So you never
That'd be
think about
nice.
that
I
stuff.
prefer that.
Ah man, I'm not a snow guy. I'm learning to love it because I'm like I have it. Like I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
So like you
Yeah.
gotta learn to love it.
Or you
Like
just move. Nah, you can't get rid of it. You can avoid
well,
it. You can run away from
even
it.
as a kid, like I think I stopped sledding at
Yeah.
like 13. Like
Right.
I was just like, it's not
Done with
worth it.
it.
Like it's cold.
You get
The
all
last time I
sweaty
went
inside the
sledding,
snowsuit. Yeah.
you remember at the
You
old
know,
house when they had like that big
the big hill,
no, not the hill. Well, I guess it was a we did have
the
that hill.
driveway. There was
No,
the
by Nana
orchard
and
one.
Papa's house when they
Mm.
had that like the lake or their
Yeah.
man-made lake that they
Yeah.
had, and that one year that we were sledding in it, and that was the last year I went sledding because I was going down it, and I landed like just like right on my wrist because I fell off the thing because I was trying to stand on it and be like a surfer or whatever.
Yeah.
But
You're sledding on the lake. On the was it frozen or what?
no, it wasn't full yet. It was when they
Uh,
were making
oh
it.
shoot! Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
it wasn't
Yeah, it
full
was just
yet.
a big old dit. It was just a
Yeah,
big
it's
old pit.
literally just a
Little
pit.
pit. Yeah,
And like we
that
were
was
going down
fun.
that, and I was trying to like stand on the snow and like,
Yeah, I think I remember that.
and I was like, nah,
I
I'm
think I
going down.
remember
Like
that. You're
this is
like, this
ridiculous.
ain't that worth
Like
it.
it's not like it's
Yeah,
just not worth it. Like I'm cold, my wrist hurts. Like what is like you go
fingers
down it
hurt.
twice and then like what else?
And then you did it. Yeah,
Yeah, like you
yeah.
done it, but I will say I do enjoy like like the quad in the snow was
All right,
so fun.
right. Yeah,
Except for
I
when
can
it
imagine that.
melted and it was mud. There was
Yeah,
this one time I took the quad. It was like the snow was melted, but it was super, super like super soft mud. So I
yeah.
was just like ripping through the mud, and I come back home, and Dad's like, "You're gonna clean it, right?" I was like,
it
"Oh,
was, it was. Yeah.
I guess so." I was like, "I was just having fun. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about yeah,
Right, the consequences.
the
You get a
consequences."
power washer and it'll be alright.
Yeah.
You get approached by a lot of women after shows.
Okay,
No,
hold on, pause. Yes, but not like
it's just a lot of men. Maybe.
why you say it like that?
I
Why'd
told you gay
you
jokes are
say
like.
it
I
like
told you gay jokes are like half of my material.
no. Okay, so it's a lot of like it's more like
Moms.
it's a family kind of a thing,
Yeah.
like it's a lot of moms, and it's like I got like 20 moms at this point, like it's just like a lot of people, or like obviously relatives, because they're around. Not you, because you don't ever come to shows, but
No.
like relatives. But like it's not like a Morgan Wallen situation, you know. Like
I'm working while
you know, like everybody's like, oh my gosh,
right.
Morgan Wallen.
No,
It's like
that's a
everybody,
good segue.
and it's what.
Oh no, keep finishing. Finish.
No, I was just saying it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Like there are some times where I'm like, okay, this is like this is a little overwhelming because this person told me their name and that person also told me their name.
Right, you
And then I'm
gotta.
trying to talk to this guy and I forgot their name because I told me their name too.
Uh,
Like I don't remember names for dog water.
yeah, but you're still trying. I mean, at
I'm
least you
trying.
try, right?
I'm
Yeah,
trying. I
that's all you
remember
can
some of
do.
them if they come to my
Yeah.
shows like more than once, you know. And then there was one time, last story, but there was one time I was at the gas station and it was just me, and then this other Subaru pulls up, and like this girl comes out and I'm like, I'm like, it's a normal thing, I think, for guys. If you're the only guy at the gas station with a woman,
Uh-huh.
like you automatically feel like you did something wrong or something.
It's
You're just
just
like
he pulls up. It's Dilly. You
you're just
creep.
like
You creep.
you creep. How could you? Like I
How
know, but I
could you?
swear every
It's
time I'm
just
at the gas
the
station,
guy in the gas station is just looking out, just shaking his
I
head.
know it's just like you instantly feel like you did something wrong.
You feel like
At least for me, and I feel like
you
that's
feel
like
uncomfortable because you're making her uncomfortable.
yeah. And it's just like I don't know, like do I get out of my car and like start gassing up, or do I stay in my car and just like wait for them to leave?
Don't
Because then
make any
that's
sudden
creepy.
moves. Yeah.
Yeah. Like last night, I was trying to get gas.
Not to make it a race thing, but yeah, I definitely think as a black person, it definitely is more high end.
I mean,
I feel that. I don't like consciously think that way, but I kind of like know.
yeah. I
Like I kind
mean,
of like
yeah. There are
I'm
times.
just like I am a big black dude by myself. Like
No, because
she's
like
gonna be uncomfortable. I'm
last
saying.
night I went to go get gas and like because I tried to the night before it didn't work, and so I was like, okay, I'll go tonight. I pull in, I'm just chilling in my truck, like trying to mess with my music. I don't get out of my truck event like if what's the word immediately. I don't get out of the
Yeah,
truck immediately when I get to the gas station. If there's
you're a
nobody behind me,
loiterer.
I'm just chilling,
You're a
and so I'm just
loiterer.
like messing through my music, and then a car pulls up, and like this girl comes out. I'm just like, oh man,
She's harassing you,
yeah, like
sir. This woman's harassing me.
I open the door so like they know I'm, you know, like I'm there.
Coming out, yeah.
And I just like kind of sit there for a little bit messing with my phone, and then I get out and I go to like because I have to use Apple Pay because I think thank goodness for Apple Pay
Thank
or
goodness.
cash. I
I
guess I
feel
could
that.
just carry
I've been
cash,
in situations like that too, where like thank God for
but
Apple
I
Pay.
was like I go to use my Apple Pay and it's like it's declined. I was like, okay, so I'm the only like I'm not huge,
Mhm.
obviously. I'm 5'9", but like I'm not a big guy, but I'm still bigger than most.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, so I'm just here at the gas station. I've been sitting in my truck for about 10 minutes now. I haven't gassed up. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah. Looking
And I
sus.
go outside with my phone and pretend to pay.
Looking
I'm like,
sus.
oh no, I'm like, this looks so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably didn't, but I was like,
It probably did it. Yeah. Most people don't think
in
about
my
that. It's
mind,
just
I'm setting this up for a
sus.
murder, even though I'm not. Like my mind's like, oh man, you're going to jail.
Yeah,
Like
no.
you're going to
At
jail
the same,
right
yeah,
now.
I don't think people think about us as much as we think about ourselves. But at the same time, I do think like women definitely do have more of an awareness of like men and just like their
Yeah.
surroundings because they have to. But yeah, but you were saying about that point about a girl at the gas station.
Oh yeah, no, because she came up to. I said like I was like, "How's your night going?"
Yeah,
Because I just talk to people, I guess. I
right.
don't know, but I was like, "Hey, how's your night going?" She's like, "It's going good," and she's like, "How's everything going with you with like your music and stuff?"
You didn't recognize it. You're
I was like,
oh.
It's going good. Like I don't. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't. What's your name? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's like I'm like I knew them. I was like,
Oh, you did?
no. They
Oh,
said I'm
like you knew that.
like I knew them. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know who you
She's like,
are.
you've changed
I
ever
was like, I
since.
don't know who you are. I'm so
Ever
sorry.
since you got that truck, you changed.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't. It's like that type of thing. I always feel so bad, but like, and then I'm like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I get so many names in a night when my brain is literally completely other places.
All you gotta do is make them feel comfortable, as long as they remember you and they feel like you acknowledge
Yeah.
them. It's all.
I don't want to be that guy that's like says your name 8 times in a conversation.
Oh, don't be afraid to do that.
I don't know.
People
I
like to
know.
hear their name.
I know. I
People
just
like to
that's
hear
just
their
my
name.
thing because I'm
Yeah.
just like I don't want to like annoy them with their name because when people say my name, I'm like, like I like my name, like yeah, but like when I hear my name, I think of especially my full name, I think of
It
like
gets your
the
attention.
mudroom.
It gets your attention, and when you're already talking to someone, getting their attention more is kind of unsettling. It's like, yeah, thank you, Jerry. It's like we were just having a conversation. So why are you?
No, but I think
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think about the mudroom when people say my full name. Like when they
Emmanuel.
say Emmanuel, I'm like, oh shit, like I'm in trouble.
That trauma. That
I'm in
for those of you who
trouble.
don't know, our parents, they spanked us as kids, and we used to have a back room that was like the it's kind of like a back porch. It was enclosed and everything,
Yeah, it's like
and
where
where
you're,
we took our shoes off, and so
yeah.
they called it the mud room. So literally every time we were in trouble, they just be like mud room.
Mudroom.
Those two
Those words are
words.
just
Those
so
two words.
terrifying. Like
Mud
if
room.
somebody were to say that to me now, I'd be like, oh shit.
Our parents were old fashioned, y'all. Like we guys, we lived in the country, so like our parents, we'd go out and pick the stick. Like they
Yeah.
would have us go pick the stick that
Yeah.
they beat us with, type
But they
thing.
had options. Like
You could even
like in
run.
the mudroom, you run down the orchard roads. Could be live like right off of an orchard. So
Yeah,
you
up
just
and
run
down the orchard
up and down
roads.
until they say stop. One time I was stacking wood. Like that
I did
sounds
that too, bro.
yeah.
I did it
No.
up there at the top
Yeah,
of
up
the
there at the
field,
top,
bro,
and
stacking wood.
like it's
Who
like
knows what
you
for?
think you're done. I was doing it in the snow, so I would like think I'm done, and then I pick up a piece, and then it's just like wood.
More wood, dude. Freaking
And they
apple
forgot
wood.
me one time too. I was
I
just
think that
saying,
that might have happened to me
I was
too.
stacking like the wood, and they like
Yeah.
went somewhere or something like that, and then they came back. I was still like out there stacking wood,
And they're like, oh,
and
we
I
still
was
got that
just
boy
like still
stacking
doing
wood.
it, and then I just like eventually I just like went inside. I was like,
Yeah,
can I be
like,
done? And they're
get
like, oh
out.
my gosh. I'm
They just think you're like he's hard working.
I was like,
After 3 hours, that boy was a hard worker. They
no,
completely
but I
forgot
was like,
why you're
oh,
out there.
like that was. I remember that day, like every single time. Like, but I don't even remember what we were talking about. Recognizing,
Yeah,
remembering
when people say your
names,
word. Yeah,
something
when
like
people say
that.
your
But
name, you get feel like murder. But
oh my god.